Nothing beats starting on time. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to November the 5th ATV net. I'm not sure what number it is. I'm sure Ian will be able to tell us a little bit later on. Tonight, we're a little bit low on numbers, and that doesn't matter. We've always got good content. Tonight we'll kick things off on RTV2. Obviously we're on RTV1 at the moment, but we'll have Joe TET who'll come up first on RTV2, and then followed closely on the heels we'll have Ian VK3QL who will follow Joe, and then we'll have Mick come in just straight up with Ian. And then Mick, if you can pass it straight back to me, that would be good. And then after me, we've got Clint, CSJ. And then Clint, you can pass that back to me after you've finished. I've got a couple of apologies. VK3 BFG, Peter, unavailable tonight. And also John, VK3 ATV. If there's anybody else that wants to check in during the net, feel free to call me. Probably best on 70 centimetres tonight. I've been playing with antennas a little bit tonight, and I might have upset the apple cart on my 2 metre setup. So, yeah, just try on 70 centimetres. If not, just relay to somebody else, and they can get in on RMC. All right, well, seems though that's it for now. What we'll do, Joe, if you can come up on RTV2 with your test pattern, and as soon as you've done that, then I'll send everybody over. So, yeah, we've got quite a few watching that have checked in. VK3 PI, VK3 BVR, VK3 BA, and VK3 NF. They're all watching one way or another. I think a lot are watching on via RF. So I see Joe doing something really weird, but and I can see me multiple times. So Joe's obviously ready. So all those that are need to switch over themselves, please go ahead and switch over to RTV2 now. Yeah, no worries, Joe. It's all part of the fun.
Exploring the USRP B210, unveiling the power of software-defined radio. Welcome to our in-depth exploration of the USRP B210, a pioneering device in the realm of software-defined radio. My name is Emma, and I'll be your guide through this fascinating world. Whether you're an enthusiast, researcher, or developer, this presentation is designed to enlighten and inspire. Let's start with the basics. Software-defined radio, or SDR, revolutionizes traditional radio communication by implementing components in software rather than hardware. This approach offers unparalleled flexibility, reconfigurability, and cost-effectiveness. Imagine a single device capable of adapting to various wireless standards and frequencies with just a software update. This shift enables rapid prototyping, easier maintenance, and the ability to keep pace with evolving communication technologies. From amateur radio operations to cutting-edge research and development, SDR's versatility knows no bounds. At the forefront of this innovation is Etis Research, founded by Matt Etis in 2024. Their mission to make high-performance SDR platforms accessible has led to the development of the USRP B210. This compact, USB-powered device boasts dual-channel transceiver capabilities and a wide frequency range, making it an indispensable tool for diverse applications. The B210 specifications are tailored to meet the demands of both researchers and developers, offering high bandwidth and a broad spectrum of frequencies. Its compact design belies its potential for complex wireless experiments and projects. So, what sets the USRP B210 apart in research and development? The answer lies in its flexibility across various bands and protocols, ease of integration with popular SDR software like GNU Radio, robust community support, and the commitment to continuous updates. These factors combined create an ecosystem that fosters innovation. From pushing the boundaries of IoT connectivity to exploring the frontiers of wireless communication,
Extracts those two channels and decodes them simultaneously. OpenCPN, which can use GPSD as a data source, then plots the broadcasting ships. We can see the smaller vessel has just these. Whenever any channel in this list becomes active, a line is drawn on the FFT plot. The green line is the channel that can be heard. Here we have pager message transmissions, so they continually broadcast. The aircraft communications and reporting system are seen and heard here. This application graphically presents the results used to sniff OFDM-based 802.11. This was a brief overview of some of the applications that work with the USRP B200 and B210. The wide frequency coverage will allow you to experiment with many more RF applications.
the USRP B210 is the device of choice for those who dare to innovate. But how does it compare to other devices in the market? Let's consider alternatives like a hack
But for
RF.
now, you can think of this 0 point as being the center.
And the ADALM, Pluto Dorta. While each has its merits, the USRP B210 stands out for its dual-channel capability, wider frequency range, and the might of Etis Research's community backing. Whether you prioritize MIMO capabilities or are looking for an educational tool, understanding these differences is key to making the right choice for your project. For those on a budget, clone devices offer an affordable entry point. Available from various manufacturers on platforms such as AliExpress, these clones mimic the original specifications but may vary in quality control and support. Before we dive into the world of applications, let's briefly explore another notable device in the SDR landscape, the Limestar Mini. This open-source, USB-powered board is designed for more complex. With its full duplex transceiver capability and support for MIMO, the Limestar Mini is particularly appealing for projects requiring advanced wireless experimentation. While not a direct competitor to the USRP B210 in all aspects, the Limestar Mini's open-source nature and strong community backing make it an attractive option for developers seeking deep customization capabilities. Now let's delve into a fascinating application of SDR technology, the Portsdown Amateur Television ATV transmitter system. Born out of the need for an affordable digital ATV solution, Portsdown has evolved since its inception in the early 2010s, leveraging various SDR platforms. Initially, based on the Raspberry Pi and R TLSDR, the project later adapted to utilize more capable SDR devices. Today, Portsdown supports several SDR options, including the Lime SDR Mini and USRP B210. The choice between these often hinges on the desired transmission parameters and personal preference. Specific possibilities of different SDRs with Portsdown: Lime SDR Mini, ideal for higher bandwidth transmissions, e.g. 1080p, due to its MIMO capabilities and higher frequency stability. USRP B210 offers flexibility with its dual channel feature, suitable for simultaneous transmission and reception or more complex ATV experiments. However, there is no currently supported driver to integrate with the existing Portsdown software. GNU radio flow graphs and DVB-S2 transmitter example. At the heart of many SDR applications, including Portsdown, LiGNU, radio flow graphs. These visual representations of signal processing flows enable developers to design and implement complex radio systems intuitively. Here are some screenshots of GNU Radio Companion, GRC, highlighting flow graph creation. Let's consider an example, implementing a DVB-S2 transmitter using GN radio and an SDR device like the USRP B210. This involves crafting a flow graph that encompasses. There is the signal source. This is used to generating a baseband DVB-S2 signal. The modulation block. This is used for mapping the signal onto a carrier wave. The filtering and amplification block. This is used in preparing the signal for transmission. The USRP sync block. This is where we engage in transmitting the final signal via the USRP B210. Example DVB-S2 transmitter flow graph, simplified for audio description. Here are the blocks. The input, transport stream, TS, file source. The processing blocks, stream to packed scrambler DVB-S2 modulator route, raised cosine filter rational resampler. The output, USRP B210 sync, configured for transmission parameters. Conclusion and closing. Remember that the intersection of SDR technology and innovative projects like Portsdown is where the future of wireless communication is being shaped. Whether through the versatility of the USRP B210, the customization of the Lime SDR Mini, or the visual simplicity of new radio flow graphs, the possibilities are indeed endless. So, is a clone right for you? If budget is a significant constraint and your project can accommodate potential limitations, then yes. However, for professional use or critical projects requiring uncompromised performance and direct support, the original USRP B210 is unequivocally recommended. As we conclude our journey through the world of the USRP B210, remember that software-defined radio is not just a technology. It's a gateway to innovation. Whether you're a seasoned developer or just beginning to explore SDR, the possibilities are endless. Thank you for watching. If you have questions or topics you'd like us to explore further, please don't hesitate to reach out. Until next time, stay curious and keep innovating. Now, back to Patrick for some final words.
Thank you, Emma. Well, I hope you enjoyed this novel presentation on exploring the USRP B210, unveiling the power of software-defined radio. I say that this was a novel presentation because it was presented entirely by a large language model. Emma and I are LLM, synthesized voices. The dialogue script for the presentation was created by Llama 3.1 Nemotron 70B, LLM, from a simple prompt of asking it to produce a 10-minute presentation with the title Exploring the USRP B210, Unveiling the Power of Software-Defined Radio. There was a dual agenda behind today's presentation. First, it was to alert you to the various advanced SDR systems available, and the merits of purchasing a much cheaper clone device with identical functionality. Secondly, to demonstrate that large language models in the right hands can produce amazing results, even in creating content for an amateur television segment presentation. Finally, Emma and I would sincerely like to thank you for watching this presentation. Take care and stay curious.
Great, thanks, Joe. Yeah, very interesting, and I'm glad they included the ports down in that summary. So that was great. All right, and Richard, thanks for stepping up to net controlling. That's great. It's been a public holiday in Melbourne today for those who are watching this in other places, and we've had a beautiful day for it, but it just sort of throws everything out. A few people have mentioned that they'd forgotten the net and had just remembered and has switched on. And I just want to give a shout out to Richard, VK7ZBX, who's watching on YouTube, my channel Ian VK3QL. I caught up with Richard at the weekend down at Tasmania for the conference in Hobart, and that was very well organised, excellent. Actually, I was going to talk about that, so I might just switch to that now. I have sound. So that's the conference started on Friday and Saturday, and it went on to Sunday too. I was only able to stay until till Saturday afternoon, late afternoon. So I can't actually see the presentation. No, that's not working. Let's try. That's not going to work either. I can't see the timetable. There we have it. It's a bit small, but it gives me a prompt. I was caught up with Richard during the lunch break or morning tea. Well catered for too. And the Friday night 5 o'clock out the club's rooms was well attended. Yeah, they had over 60 people there, and that was good time had by all, munching on the barbecue and having a few lemonades, so that was good. And Justin and Hayden were the sort of key floor people, so they sort of kept the conference on time, and yeah, it went very well. The most enjoyable. Timothy's presentation was very well received, and of course Rex is a great speaker, and on propagation and lightning scatter, which going through his results of the work he's been doing over recent years. There's a lot of stuff, so I won't go into it too much. There was a great presenter, David VK5KK. He did a brilliant presentation on a new chip that's come out for, goes up to 241 gigahertz, and considering the regulations only regulate up to 300, it's absolutely amazing stuff. They are slightly expensive, so if you blow one up, they're $1,000 each apparently. So and very little documentation. The data sheet is very skimpy, and it actually gets filled out with a lot of what David finds out during his experimenting. So that was well received. I hope that the presentations will be put together as they were 2 years ago into clips on YouTube, so I'll mention that once they if they become available. So what else? Yeah, just a great time had by all, and very well organised. A great conference. Right, now where will I go? Let's see. Yes, we got there, and we got sound. All right. Just while I'm talking, there's Neil's come up on the YouTube channel, as has Stephen. Where is his call sign? Stephen VK3TTF, and Nick, of course, regular supporter, VK3BA, and Richard. I've mentioned Richard. Brad is there too, and there's another 20. It's dropped a little bit, but we've got nearly 15 there, so that's good for a public holiday. It's probably a bit explanation. Lucy won the sweep at the function, the barbecue that I was at in the backyard in northern suburbs. So Lucy's gone off to celebrate. She's certainly not working tonight. I shall raise that at the production meeting. All right, so there's Rosebud Hamfest. It's coming up on the 17th of November. Doors open at 9:30. Tickets available from 8 o'clock. So there it is. It's all undercover, fully catered for, very inexpensive entry fee, and if you get your old primary school uniform and you can still fit in it, you might be able to pass off as being under 12. Anyway, lots of store holders and great door prizes, I believe. The next thing I wanted to cover was, the ISS. Let's just look at what's happening on the ISS.
Have you tried the repeater in the sky recently? Let's have a look at the International Space Station passes for Melbourne over the next week.
73's move. Yeah, VK3MQ, good afternoon, Rob. VK3EJ. Yeah, VK3EJ, VK3MQ, good on you, Damien. Nice to work you again. We don't often chat, do we? Cheers. Yeah, cheers. Cheers, 73's. Echo Mexico. Yeah, VK3PI, g'day Mark, VK3EJ, 5 and 3 here, over. Yeah, cheers there Mark, and 7...
Right, so there's still some work to do for ham TV functionality, and so that's been pushed back to, at this stage, it looks like the end of the year. But there's lots of information on the BATC site. Just search for search for it in the BAT wiki, ham TV. Just search ham TV in BATC wiki. All right. Also, just to repeat, as was mentioned before, the slide went over the packet that's currently not available. So there we have that. Let's go on to a bumper. Right. Oh, interesting. Oh. Hello, rabbit. It's not Easter, is it? Don't you like live TV? That's never happened before, but anyway, we shall fix that. Perhaps it's because Lucy is not here. The rabbits decided to replace her. Anyway, and that's going to cycle through. I might just, what will I do? Is there something than Lucy or me? It's got bigger ears anyway. That's I'm not going to live this one down a bit for a while. There we have the right. What we pick? Scroll. There's Star Loop. That's a bit much. Oh, there's the museum. How's that? Yeah, I don't know why that's flipped back there, but anyway, there goes the rabbit. There's my. I'm in the now in the museum studio. All right, automation's a great thing, and so I'm just fluffing here. To business now. Next thing. Quiz. Yes, I'm still in the museum studio. I was having my doubts that that might have happened, but it has. All right, and I might call up Mick. If Mick, you'd like to come online, and I'll cut to you, and we'll see. In the meantime, I might. Oh, there you are. All right, I'll cut to you, Mick. I'll bring you in, and without any further ado, I'll switch to Mick, VK3CH, who's about 10 kilometres that way. You all know where he is now, in Doncaster. So what am I going to do? I still haven't worked out how to do the switch across, but in terms of so I'll just do a merge, and Mick, if you could pass it on to Richard on VK on VK3 RTV channel 1, and people on the set-top box after Mick switch to channel 1. All right, here we are, introducing Mick for this evening. Here we are.
Okay, go everyone, and the flicky bar says that I've got audio going across, so there you go. Okay, coming through via Ian, no RF here. Things are in bits and pieces, and the what do you call it, the SR systems, I have it routed to the other one, so short story, it's a mess, and yeah, anyway, on to the presentation. Alright, what have we been doing this week? We'll go over to here. Alright, what we've got here is a radio we've had for a while. Now the reason it's saying 100 metres and 200 metres, we'll tell you. Now this radio doesn't come with an antenna like this. I got this from Amazon, and actually turned up the very next day I ordered it. And the reason we got this short aerial is because we've made up one of the All-Star nodes, and you can see the Raspberry Pi is the board on the bottom, and the node is from Queensland actually. Comes pre-configured, but I didn't get any software with it, so I had to sort of download software and configure it anyway, but that's okay, you learn. And it's just it from another angle, and the aerial of course is the aerial that comes with it, and there it is from the other side. And what you see with the two yellow arrows is 2 screws, and what I did there was the top board was a little loose, and I was worried that it would, you know, bend down and short circuit onto something on the Pi, so I've used just some simple screws as spacers. The specs for the Pi say the holes are 2.7 mil, and the thread of the screws are 3, so I sort of forced them, and then I chopped the bottom bits off so that they don't get in the way. So that's probably a kind of a permanent. Oh no, you could probably cut them in half with carefully and unscrew them out, but anyway, it'll probably stay the way it is for a while. And there's another view of it, and there's the top, so you can see it's called a Duranode All-Star Hat by VK4NGA. So if you Google VK4NGA or Duranode All-Star Hat, you'll find the website quick enough. although I bought the last one, but I'm sure he'll probably make more, and he does have other varied things of this. Works quite well. Took me about an hour to get it going, once I worked out what software settings, and yep, there's a parrot you can connect to in America. It'll tell you, it'll give your audio is low, or your audio is normal, or your audio is too high, and plays yourself back to you, so it's all not too hard. And there's, just to give you an idea of the antenna length, if you know what a Raspberry Pi is in size, that's the length of the supplied aerial, which is just about the same length of the aerial that I went and bought for the radio. The reason being that the long aerial on the radio, the thing kept falling over on the bench, and you don't need that much RF in the shack if you're just talking to the node, so it made things a bit easier. That's the node with the aerial that I actually had on the radio. That's a different one. I got that from Strictly Ham years ago when I had what was the other node called? DMR. Which I haven't used for ages. I forget how to use DMR now. Code plugs and everything else. That's what that aerial is close up. I got that from Ross yonks ago, so that's what it's called. Alright. Oh yes, and if you can see there, there's the node, the top of the arrow, just with a bit of cable tie holding in between my bit of water pipe, or 50mm pipe that I used to stop the top bench from sagging. And you can see the All-Star dashboard there, or Supermon, which is what the Sky in Queensland recommends you use. You probably don't have to use it, but because it was configured for that, it all works. Tells you how hot your Pi is. Apparently if a Pi can go up to about 80 degrees C and then it self-throttles back, but mine stays at about 50 degrees C. I've never seen it go to 51 degrees yet, so all should be good. Alright, that's the last of my happy stories. Now for something else. That's when I turned my back to get the battery. A gust of wind knocked everything to the ground. And I shook it with my hand, and the wind was that strong. When I'm trying to get out of the car, you've got to really push the car door. It's just about crushing your legs. So yeah, you can see the camera's fallen over. Well, there's no weight in that. The dish has fallen over, but the big thing, that thing, and what it's done is it's smashed the little case, which I suppose is a protective case just as well. When it hit the ground, so you can see the Rod printed that up for me with what do you call those things, 3D printers. So I suppose it did its job. So that's the force it hit with the ground. There's the top, so at least the radio is not scratched. There's another view of it, and there's the camera thing. You see how there's a piece missing there? It's absolutely smashed the of the little camera tripod thing, so you can see the break there and the break there, but I didn't get off scot-free. When the thing fell over, it ripped the Ethernet cable, and yeah, so it's broken the two bits of plastic there. So I suppose I could what do you call it, super glue a little bit of something on, but look, I just give up. So yeah, I basically went home after that. That's why you didn't hear me on Saturday. These three capacitors have turned up. That's because we think that the capacitor has died in my DVB-T transmitter. Either the little transistor's blowing up again. So I don't know. Honestly don't know what to do there. Now, how do I get out of this? Oh, so I'll get out of this. Now I've got something else to show you. No, not that. Wrong button. Just bear with me. Where is it? I think this is it. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Oh, nothing works. Well, that's basically... nothing works. Well, that's... Oh, hang on. Nothing works. Well, that's... Come on. Hang on. Okay. Well, that's a bit of short video of, yeah, when I turn my back. Now, I'll just let that nearly finish. So, yeah, destruction. Alright, where do we go? Back to here. Is that it? Yep, alright. So, what we have, given my medical condition, when we load the car and put everything into the car, even though it's the day before, our legs are so wrecked, even with a night's sleep, well, we feel a bit better. But even just the act of setting all that up, my legs just give out. I actually went to pick some of it up and I lost my balance in the wind. And guess what? I've discovered when I fall over, unless there's something I can crawl and put myself up, that's where I stay. I've never really proved it in the shack. Every time I've gone under the carpet and had to do something under the table, there's always been a chair, and I thought, well, I could probably get myself up, but I never actually said, let's actually prove it. Well, yeah, we found out the hard way, so we had to crawl to the car on the stones. I felt every little bit of stone on my kneecap, just as well I had jeans on. And yeah, opened up the car door, and when the wind decided not to slop it against my head, we managed to right ourselves up. So it's probably coming to the stage where maybe I don't go out on my own anymore with ham radio stuff, I don't know. So I could use some certain words to describe my frustration, but my amateur radio licence won't let me. So what's the go? I could make separate little, instead of that one big 16 kilogram of stuff, and the thing is that it's 16 kilograms on the tripod, and the wind blew it over, actually shook it with a bit, just, oh yeah, that's good, that won't go anywhere. And then the moment I turned to grab the battery, with my back turned, to the crunch. So 16 kilos on the tripod, so I'm just out of ideas. So if I made up sort of other things on tripods, they're only going to be lighter and the wind's probably going to grab them. And then it's more for me to set up and walk. Just the walking wrecks me. Yeah, even when we go to supermarkets, by the time we finish shopping, I've had enough. So either that or the XYL comes out and helps set it up, and then she sits there bored until we have our skids, and then she helps pack it all up. She already helps carry it to the car and unpack the car. So yeah, I don't know how much I could push the friendship in that regard. So yeah, we're not happy at the moment. So yeah, I wish I had better news. But yeah, look at what I've only owned the 905. What? Not even half a year, maybe. I know. Maybe 2/3 of a year, and we've already heard it. So yeah, not happy, Jan. That's enough from me. So I think we're putting it back to Richard. Well, Ian's controlling it all, so I'll leave it to him. So yeah, that's all I've got from me. Not really good news. Cheers all.
Mick, not very good news at all. That'd explain why we didn't see you or hear you on Saturday. Yeah. Bit of a tip for you. I don't know, like the 16 kilos, you remember it's actually top heavy. What you could do is secure it with some actual ropes, and instead of having pegs that you hammer in, I found in Bunnings you can get the screw ones that you actually just use a drill and screw them in, which I took them with me to hold down our gazebo on Saturday, which was really good. They worked exceptionally well because that gazebo went nowhere when that wind gust came up. So that'd be my recommendation for you, just to secure it a bit better. You'd only probably need one rope down in the centre, make sure the legs are spread, and one rope, around the neck of the tripod, and then screw it down and tighten it off. Even if it's one of those flexible cords, an hockey strap type thing, do that, and then at least that way, if the wind blows, it's secured still down on the ground. That would be my suggestion anyway. Tripod that I've got's very, very wide legs, so it'd take a fair gust to try and blow it over, that's for sure. But yeah, I would look at that. It's not good, Mick, at all, but at least one thing, always look for the positives. You had that protective case over it, so thankfully. So much so that while you were on, I did actually start looking at protective cases myself. Mark JMA, he actually had a protective case with him as well. Can I get this to work? Live TV shouldn't do this, but let's have a look. Is that the right one? Nope, that's the wrong one. Yeah, as you know, it's not that easy to do when you're doing this live. So hopefully it's that one. See what pops up this time. Yep, that's the one. Rightio. Yep. So I just went and had a look. That's the wind camp one. So it's actually a light aluminium. Mark's actually got this one, and makes it nice and secure. So even though this one's for the 705, it fits perfectly on the 905 as well. So, and I just noticed too while I was looking, it's a fancy looking cases as well. So there's some options anyway to help protect. Anyway, so sorry to hear, Mick. Hopefully it doesn't put you off completely. And 16 kilos is quite heavy to lug around as well. It is one of the problems with all this equipment going portable. It's trying to keep it light and easy to set up and transport. So on the weekend, obviously, I participated in the MAD, and Mark and I, and also Peter, TLF. We went down past Lock on a hill, and Mark had his setup. I haven't had a chance to do the video editing yet, but Mark and I decided we were taking different antennas so we could experiment and see what the differences were. Identical radios, pretty much everything else identical setups, except for the antennas and transmission lines. So definitely discovered there's a big difference when conditions aren't fantastic, and they weren't fantastic on Saturday for microwave, but it was a good chance to test a few things. Now, dishes and grids definitely work better than what just panels alone do. I had all panels and a horn for 10 gigs, and Mark had dishes and a couple of panels. But the dishes, really performed exceptionally well. Now, in saying that too, Nick VK3BA was 187 or something kilometres away from where we were. We had good line of sight, but we had a fantastic contact on 23 centimetres, good strong signals. And in fact, while we were talking, we were being recorded by Brad, who's on the YouTube watching, and I've seen that video and it was actually quite good. So yeah, good strong signals from that distance, and that was with me with a panel antenna. So, and not very high gain. The panels aren't huge high gain antennas, but anyway, it was good. But we had a good day. You know, we had our little barbecue and whatnot. So, and Peter got to see two 905s in action. Both of us obviously having 905s, and even had the SG Labs transverter. So we had 3 gig as well. So, and all the way up to 10. So it was fun, and that was obviously my first time as a since I've been advanced. Oh, signal drop out. Oh, I saw my signal drop out. Yeah, so other things. So I haven't had a chance to do much because I've got a lot of that renovations going on in the backyard. But today, I decided, beautiful day, so I'll get some antenna work done. And I've got everything prepared now to put up grid packs. I've actually worked out what I'm going to do here now, so that'll be the next step. Those coaxes over there are going to move, so they're definitely going to move. They're going to move over into that corner, and I'm going to bring them down in their own channel. So that'll free up those holes there, and I'll be able to put the panel back, and it'll when I've done it all, I'll show everyone. But that's all ready to go. The rotator is ready to install. Just ran out of time because I also put up the 6 metre dual band 6 metre 10 metre antenna, so that's also operational. So yeah, but I don't have a radio to test it at the moment because it's still in a mess. But yeah, so I'll have 6 metres, vertical 6 metres to start off with, have a bit of a play in the not too distant future. So that's all the news that I've got at the moment. We currently have 21 watching on Ian's YouTube. There's 2 watching on mine, and there is 2 on Rob IE's stream, and there is 1 on Discord. So it's not bad for a public holiday. Obviously, quite a few people have gone, oh, the Nets odds Tuesday, or they've just got home from being away and then jumped on. So excellent. We love your support. Love to see even more of you transmitting. So yeah, anyway, we'll hand it over to Clint now. He will have some fantastic stuff to show us. So Clint, if you want to start transmitting now, and hopefully it should just swap over with that.
That's it. Alright, third time lucky. It's occasionally the old SR transmitter needs to be reset. Sometimes it'll take 2 to 3 attempts, but not always. But anyway, good evening, everyone. That's a picture of the All-Sky camera located just north of Heathcote at the Leon Mao Dark Sky site at the Radio Observatory of Astronomical Society Victoria. So that's what the sky looks like just north of Heathcote at the moment. Just thought I'd show that. Good everybody. Mick, I'm so sad to hear of that, of your antennas going over. That would annoy the hell out of me too, and you know, it's one of those WTF moments, isn't it? Wasn't aware of the medical condition either, so that doesn't sound bloody good either, mate. So I'm sad to hear about that, because I know you love the hobby. I know you love what you're doing, and you don't need setbacks. So I really do wish you all the best. You'll work around something to get this all sorted out. So don't lose any faith in what you're doing. Just keep on going forward, mate. You'll work out what to do. Even if you can get your missus there to help. Dear, I'm sorry to hear that, Mick. That's not good. Joe, your SDR information was also really interesting stuff. I'm always blown away with the modern technology for SDRs, and just how compact and how small these things are getting. It's just it really is outstanding. So that was an excellent production. You do very well with your little video productions that you do. I wasn't too sure about the audio though. It was a funny mix of male and female, and the audio kept fading away, and I thought, something's going wrong here, the audio's fading away, and then all of a sudden up came the female narration. So I guess it was just a technique you were trying. The Indian music at the end of the film was a bit loud. I've noticed that over the last couple of broadcasts you've done, it's almost borders into distortion, so I'm not sure if that's just the music or whether it's perhaps a little bit too loud. You might want to look at that perhaps. But yeah, excellent, interesting stuff you do show, mate. Very good. Anyway, I won't hold it. I just thought I made a trip out into Victoria on Saturday, a good 8-hour drive in my horrible Subaru, and I came back with a new radio for the shack. That's it there, FT847. I've had 2 of these in the past. I bought one brand new from Dick Smith when Dick Smith was around. I saw that being displayed at Hamfest when Dick Smith used to have a table set up at Hamfest, and I thought, I've got to have me one of these. So I bought one new, and had that for quite a few years, but had to unfortunately sell it. Then I bought a second-hand one from a home in Box Hill area some time later, and ended up selling that one too. So anyway, another ham just last week on VK Ham, I think it was selling a few of these. He had a few, and I queried if he had any more, and I thought, he says, yeah, so that's it, off I went. And so now the only reason why I've got this is because I don't have very good VHF UHF comms in the shack here at the moment. All the dual band radios that I've ever used in this shack since I've been in Narre South have failed one way or another. It's either a Watson brand or the Alinco brand. You know, they've been okay for the short period, but after a while something goes wrong somewhere along the way. So I've been relying on a handheld for most of my comms here in this shack, and unfortunately the battery, I've got 3 batteries that go flat after 15 minutes of use. So much to the frustration of the people I talk to. They're saying, get your VHF, UHF comms sorted out here. So yeah, I got that. It's 160 through to 70. But so it'll be mostly used on VHF, UHF comms, 50 watts, and I've got a collinear that a dual band collinear I've got to put up on the top of the tower, which I was hoping to do this weekend, but the time just got away from me, so I haven't quite got around to putting a proper antenna up for it yet. That's another picture of it. It has Collins filters installed. They usually can't. The radio came with standard Yaesu filters, but as an optional accessory, you could get Collins filters. So this came with Collins filters, and so that was really good to get. And the other interesting thing here is that there's a little modification that's been done to the crystal as well. You can just see it there between the two filters. It's a little temperature oven to improve stability of the crystal. It's quite an interesting little arrangement, and I haven't heard of the mod for this. But it's a little temperature controlled oven, or it's not so much an oven, but it's a little temperature controlled unit to keep the crystal at a constant temperature, just to improve stability. So how is that? It's a rather interesting little mod that I wasn't aware of. So anyway, there it is. That's the new wireless for the shack here, and that'll facilitate comms on FM for 2 meters and for 70. And once I get the collinear mounted at the top of the tower, I hope that everybody will be able to hear me on 2 meters. So if Neil gives me a good signal report, then that's got to be pretty good. I can just hear Rob, Mr. IE, currently at the moment. So if putting up the collinear and all that improves Rob's signal, I'll be impressed. So there it is. Now, just briefly, it's 9:03 already. As some of you might know, we had an earthquake this morning. Earthquake just centred northwest of Bendigo. If you can make out that horrible off-screen photograph I've taken there. But there was it was just a small minor earthquake, I think it was 3.6 on the Richter scale, and there's been about 70 felt reports recorded so far. But it occurred at 6:41 this morning. Normally I'd be on my way to work, but I was asleep at that time, so I missed it actually happening. I don't think we would have felt anything down here, but my seismometer did actually record it. So that's the result of my seismometer. So that earth tremor was significant enough to be detected down here in Narre Warren. So I thought that was interesting to show. On that note, it's back to you, Richard. So thanks everybody for coming up tonight, and everybody that's been watching on the side. Great to see the folks out there that do tune in on a Tuesday night. So yeah, we just need more folks to come up with cameras and TVs. Some of you are camera shy, I don't know why. Anyway, all right.
Righty. Well, it's we've definitely filled the hour. Wasn't sure that we'd be able to, but we did. So all good. Very interesting, Clint, how we had that earthquake. I didn't feel it, although I think I was still asleep too. Or maybe I was awake and didn't realise. Excellent. Net will be back on again next week. I'm not sure who's going to be net controller, but I'm pretty sure it'll be someone on RTV2, not RTV1. So that's it for the evening. Thank you, our lovely audience, and I hope you've enjoyed it tonight.